Hi everyone, welcome to the health tip this week. So I got some interesting information to share. We're going to be talking with some sort of obscure causes of right shoulder pain. And these are some things that are not related to the shoulder, and it's something totally sort of distant from the thing that people wouldn't have a concept that it could be causing it, but it's a pretty common thing. There's a colleague of mine in the States, Dr. Berg, he kind of agrees with me too, and he's talked about this a lot. And so I'm just going to explain some of the things how we found this out. The main thing there, this is like the front of the body that I've drawn. This is the esophagus coming down. The esophagus comes down and goes into the stomach, which is here. This big organ here is your liver, and that's your gallbladder right there. And on top of your liver, going across in your stomach, and kind of covering all this stuff up to the front here, is your diaphragm, which is your breathing muscle. So you have your lungs on top of here, and the diaphragm is kind of contracting, coming down, and relaxing like that as you're breathing in and out normally. So that muscle, your diaphragm, is controlled by a nerve that comes out of your neck, actually. So it mainly comes out from the fourth and the fifth nerves up in the neck, and there's one on one side and one on the other side that go down to control the diaphragm. And sometimes it can go up to the third nerve and even up to the second, which can cause some other interesting things, which I'll talk about in a second. So everyone is kind of different of where the roots of that nerve start from. But basically this nerve is called the phrenic nerve or phrenic nerve. And look at your body like this, okay? So if we take you forward like that, so from the fourth and the fifth nerve, vertebrae here, the nerve comes out and actually goes on top of this muscle, the anterior scalene muscle, which is in front of all the nerves that go down into your arm. And it comes out of your neck, and it goes down, it goes kind of around the side of your heart, and it comes to your diaphragm. And it's the muscle that causes diaphragm contractions, but it also causes pain signals too. So this nerve, it goes on top of the diaphragm, so it'll kind of analyze the area around up on the top beside the heart and where the lungs are. But it also pierces the diaphragm and comes underneath it too, like this. So on both sides. So what can happen is, if you have congestion in, let's say, your gallbladder, and the organ can kind of swell, get hot, that kind of thing, if you want to call it that. But anytime there's kind of like inflammation, backup, sludge, we call it hepatobiliary sludge, the gallbladder's not working so well, it's irritated. Anytime an organ in the inside of the body is irritated, it can irritate the surrounding tissues too. And it's very common that the gallbladder backing up can actually irritate the diaphragm on the other side. So in this image here, basically, this is the front of your body. These will be your abdominal muscles. These are your ribs kind of cut off here. So you can see the liver is here. So this is like a cross section, like through the middle of your body sort of thing. So your front is here and your back is here. So you can see your liver coming this way. And your gallbladder is forward, but this thing here, you can see that's listed as the diaphragm. So the diaphragm comes over the liver and it comes right down, almost right into the front. So you can see if that gallbladder is expanded, swelled, or pushing, or kind of backing up, it can cause irritation right in that spot there, which would be just right on the front part, underneath your ribs, under the right side, basically. That sort of irritation can irritate these nerves, and the irritation goes all the way back up to here, into the neck. And it can actually cause people to have pain in their shoulder, right around here. So if you've heard the idea sometimes, people say they're having a heart attack and they have what they call referred pain, and they might feel like the squeezing sensation in their left arm or maybe in their jaw, that kind of thing. So the problem is kind of here, but they're feeling it somewhere else. This is another kind of situation like that, where the people might feel this discomfort here, kind of from the neck over here into the shoulder. Sometimes it goes to the back too. But it's different than like I hurt my shoulder, because it actually happened to me when I was during the holidays. We had like our big Christmas dinner, and there was a lot of disorganized eating, and there was junk on top of junk and all that kind of stuff. And when we were driving home from Peterborough back to Toronto, here the sensation is not like muscle sore. It's almost like there's a guitar chord like in your neck, kind of coming out this way, and it's really twangy and it's really annoying, and you're kind of doing this. You say, "What the heck is going on?" But then I just kind of made the realization, I felt this, but then I realized that I felt a lot of discomfort down here too, because I was actually getting a lot of bloating and probably some gas in my intestines, and all of this stuff was probably irritated and kind of angry down here, and that was causing this discomfort up here. And then after a while, when I got home and I was moving around, a little burping happened and that kind of thing, so there was a little less of the pressure. Stomach might have been irritating this side, that kind of thing. And, just kind of drinking water and kind of, letting time pass, that settled down here and the shoulder plane passed as well. If that phrenic nerve even comes out higher, like if some of the roots come out from even like the third nerve or even the second one, there's another nerve there that will go up into your ear too. And if they're kind of co-irritated sort of thing, you ever get those like sharp jabbing pains in your ear for no apparent reason kind of thing? Sometimes those funky ear sensations can be coming from that nerve coming up here and irritating another one beside it that goes up to supply what we call the ear. The greater auricular nerve, and that could cause weird sensations in your ear, and you say, why is that happening? And sometimes it could be related to some stuff that's happening down here, which is really quite strange, but it's an interesting thing. So sometimes when you have this discomfort, what you can try to do is actually get your fingers, lean forward and get your fingers into that area and basically try to put some light pressure or even try to massage the gallbladder a little bit to see if you can kind of relieve the discomfort in there, trying to get yourself to burp, that kind of thing can sometimes help. But just, so the ribs will kind of be in front of this whole thing like that. And right under the corner of the rib right here is where you kind of want to try to get your fingers underneath there to get some massage into the gallbladder. So if I show you here, like my ribs are kind of coming around here like that, and I'm just going to be coming underneath on the right side, leaning forward so I relax my abdominal muscles, and I would just kind of go in there and lightly try to massage the gallbladder like that. And if you have this thing going on, it probably might even be tender down here too. And you just kind of try to do a little massage to see if you can kind of manually manipulate the things to get things moving and get the flow happening so there's less stasis and less stagnation, to get that flow out there and relieve that pressure so there'll be less irritation coming up into the shoulder. And the esophagus here, it goes through the diaphragm, so that muscle has a little hole in it. And sometimes what can happen, it's a unique thing, but the stomach can actually push its way up through that little hole in the diaphragm, and that's called a hiatus hernia. And I'm going to go into another video because that can cause a whole pile of other funky things that people would never think could be related to that. And I'll go into that, and there's some corrective maneuvers that we can do to kind of help actually mechanically pull that down and get that restored too, because that's another big issue that causes a lot of discomfort for a lot of people. So that's your health tip for this week. If that was helpful, please share it, and we will see you next time. Bye.